enjoy the fun, chatting with interesting people while styling while we run. It's Kickin in Crocs. We're kicking in Crocs.
Hello, and welcome to Kickin and Crocs, the podcast. We talk about martial arts stuff, geeky stuff, and all sorts of stuff. My name is Steve, 1/3 of Kickin and Crocs.
You almost said 1/2.
I did.
It was on the tip of your tongue.
It was. But I stopped myself. I fixed it.
I'm Dave, 1/4 of Kicking Your Crocs.
I'm Nick, multiple eighths of Kickin the Crocs. What's up, guys?
Unfortunately, the Shadow Half's not with us today.
No, we are back
not here.
down in Nick's basement location for
And
this podcast.
my wife does not go in Nick's basement.
No, yeah, Kelsey does not follow us here, unfortunately.
Yes, that is one
That would
disappointing
require-
fact right
that
now.
would require a drive here.
Yes,
for
which
her.
she's been here before. When
Oh,
we
she's been to your
casted,
house, but not to.
but she's usually upstairs with little man. So you notice the energy level.
I
of
like how you call
Steve?
Nicole, your wife, little man.
I mean, that's the name she's got. So,
Come here, little man.
Yeah,
Little man, how's
Steve-
breakfast going?
Steve's got a whole different level of energy on actual Sunday mornings.
Right? He's
Yes.
a morning person, apparently.
Oh
He's
yeah,
not a night person.
Wow. Because
I am very much a morning person. Yes,
really.
very much so.
So our timing is not to your benefit. A normal day.
Unfortunately, no. But
I-
hey, if
I-
it's what we got to do, it's
I
what we
don't
got
know
to
where
do.
I fall, because like
Oh, I know where I fall. I'm an evening person.
I,
for you.
well, so
Without a
like,
doubt. Must
be
so
nice.
like as a youth, as a
Well, it's not
youth,
nice because I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, but I'm an evening guy.
so as a youth,
Enjoy.
I was
As you.
that's a reference to
Yeah, I get it.
My cousin Vinny.
So as a youth, I was a morning kid.
Okay.
So like very young, I was like my mom. My mom's a morning person, so I'd be up, crack of dawn, like ready to go. And then around my mom says 8th grade when I discovered Conan O'Brien,
So you're
and I
staying
would
up
stay
later.
up late to
was
watch
so
Conan
funny.
O'Brien. And then I shifted
Ah.
to being more of a night person. Plus, my dad worked overnights. He worked not over like weird hours. So he'd come in at like 1 in the morning.
Mm.
So when my sister and I were old enough to stay up, we would like get to see him when he walked in the door. Maybe he would always have like a little snack at like 1:30 in the morning.
Just to hold them over.
So when we were old enough, we would get something with him.
Oh, that's cool.
And then yeah. So then we shifted to being like nighttime people.
Hmm.
So my mom's like, "Oh, great! I'm back to being the only morning person in the house." But then somewhere along the way, now I'm a weird in between. So I like to stay up late, but I also like to get up.
Well, now you have a son, so this
Early.
and your son is kind of like at 6 a.m.
I don't stay up as late as I don't stay up as late as I used to because now like if 12:45 rolls around, I'm still watching anime. I actively like I'll even stop mid episode because I'm like, listen, I know he's gonna be up like he'll be up at like
6 a.m. Yeah,
yeah he's been getting up at like 6:30 now, which is like new and a little
a
early.
whole half hour later. This is incredible.
Yeah, I was
This is
up
No,
called
no, no, no,
podcast.
no, no. He was getting up at 7 o'clock. He was 7
Oh,
o'clock.
yeah.
So you're backtracked. Yeah.
So now he's getting up at like 6:30. So I'm like, I'm actively at 12:45. Like, all right, put your head down. Let's go.
It's time to go to
I'm
bed,
trying to
buddy.
see. I was watching that. I was up late yesterday watching that new Star Wars series. What's it called?
Skeleton
Skeleton
Crew?
Crew.
Yeah.
I haven't started it yet. I want to.
Skeleton
No.
You don't.
No good.
Mm.
Oh.
You know what it is? It's tough because the majority of the cast are kids.
Well,
And
they're
they're
obviously
not-
gearing it towards a
Well,
younger
it's
audience.
supposed to be
yeah.
Goonies-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the
You remember the
direction.
Goonies?
I-
Goonies never died.
Yeah. I could see the direction, I guess, going that way. I guess it's just a slow burn for me. It's a real. I'm on the. They only have 3 episodes out so
He's like
far.
an old man though, so he doesn't really get into like the more.
It's like, most of the cast is kids. I can't relate
It's
to them.
yeah,
Hey, these
whatever.
new kids, eh?
What are we gonna
You
do when
watch
the
it,
what are we
you
gonna
let
do
me
when the
know.
Star Wars show come out where all the characters are droids? And they're gonna be like, yeah, they're all robots.
So you know, you know,
Too high. It's a slow move for me so
I was
far.
just
There's
listening
not a
to.
lot
I was
of
just
real
listening
good action.
to.
There's 1 episode so far. There's a little bit, but
I was just listening to Matt Sarah's podcast.
okay.
He drops like a weekly podcast. I
You
love
listen to other podcasts?
Yeah, I do. He's a jujitsu. He's a
Disappointed.
jujitsu.
Joe
He's like a
Rogan.
crazy
What?
good jujitsu guy. Oh, I listen to multiple podcasts.
I know,
so,
I know, mess with you.
That Joe Rogan approves.
Joe Rogan's my favorite.
They've all been Joe Rogan guests.
Yes.
Joe Rogan's my favorite. But Matt Sarah is my favorite like personality because he's a great jujitsu guy and he runs a school, but he's like a goofy nerd. He calls himself a Ninja Turtle because he lives off of pizza martial arts.
Nice. Good
but-
combo.
He's a giant nerd, and he was talking about Star Wars. He's like, I just don't understand why they have to keep He's like, because there was their extended universe, all the books that were out forever.
Yeah, they're called
They're like-
Legends
He's
now.
like, I don't understand. There was all this great content
Yes.
that they could have drawn from,
Yes,
and it
we
was
talked
like they
about
were
this,
saying,
yeah.
like, no.
We're gonna make our own stuff, and we're bad. At
No.
it.
That's what they did with the Old Republic. Everybody knows about every Star Wars fan, at least diehard Star Wars fan, knows about the Old Republic,
Yes.
which were video games that came out that sparked the books that came out.
That's what they were talking. That's what he was talking about too. He's like, they had these video games, comics, books,
Yep.
and
All
yet
the stuff
they're
that
like,
came out.
let's go
And
to
yet,
completely
here
opposite
we go,
direction
yeah.
and forget everything that we like.
And here's the thing: if you wanted to follow the Darth Vader path, the Force Unleashed, the video game series with
It's great.
Star Killer is phenomenal, and
Great.
it's already written for you.
Not to
Just
mention, there was
make a movie.
another comic. I want to say Marvel did it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
the
Marvel.
Vader,
did it.
yeah, the Vader comic from Marvel, which
Marvel
I
did it.
thought was really cool. Just the whole process of it. Unfortunately, they tried to tie the sequel trilogy into it.
Oh,
But besides that stuff, it was really, really good. So
George
if you want to do a
Lucas
Vader
is
thing,
talking about taking Star Wars kind of back under his tutelage fully. Looking at, because right now they're dying on the vine, unfortunately.
Well,
Yes,
the,
they are.
the problem is they're spread so far, and like
Yes,
they're just.
and
again,
they don't have the right creative staff right now.
And
They
again,
just don't.
I think
they're
the
just
problem-
pumping.
all they
stuff out.
have is Dave Filoni, and even he comes up short sometimes.
Well, that's
but
kind of
very, very few times, but sometimes.
that's kind of what makes me nervous about So it's gonna tie in, but I'm gonna take you on a journey, but it's gonna tie in.
Oh, here we go.
So apparently the Superman, the DC Superman.
Yes,
So
The new
somebody's
one.
so,
James Gunn.
Okay.
So they were talking about that on Matt Sarah's podcast. And the guy that he's talking with is friends and people, and he saw the trailer. It's not released yet. It's going to release supposedly this month.
Okay.
And he said it floored him. It was really, really good.
Nice.
What makes me nervous, and this is where it ties back, is because James Gunn, the guy that's the head of the DC Universe right now,
Now he is.
has described himself going more the direction of how a Star Wars universe goes, where it's not
They're not connected.
it's not an overarching story. Like, you know how Marvel started and led all the way up to Endgame.
Yes.
He doesn't want to do that. So it's just going to be in the same universe, but stories within that same universe.
So basically, lots of cameos, but not actual connections.
Well, there'll be connection so like Superman can interact with other characters, and so if you're watching like a Green Lantern movie, let's say, they're aware that Superman exists and but there's no large overarching villain
Yeah,
or
they're not
story.
waiting for the Justice League connection at the end. Yeah.
So they're ignoring the parts of Star Wars that were good, and we're going to copy the Star Wars that's bad.
Well, I think their idea is that they don't want to fall into the trap Marvel's fell into, which is
Right.
Everything has to be
Stuff.
tied
which is
together.
now.
run out the story.
Well, yeah. Well, now they've told a complete story, and they're like waffling because they're like,
Well, here's their problem. I
No,
feel
the
like we talk
problem
about
was
this
they
multiple
didn't
times.
hard
We do. We
We
talk
talk
about
about
it
this
a
so
bunch
many
of
times.
times.
We keep talking about
well,
this
the
over
issue,
and over
the
again.
issue really is they didn't hard stop that ending. Like, be done with that ending and start from scratch.
That's what they should have done. They should have
Yeah.
just
Did
literally.
anybody watch that new
researched it.
Christmas? It's rated high on Netflix. I got to watch it.
Which one?
The Jason Bateman one I was talking about like a couple weeks ago.
No, I have not seen it yet.
You're talking about the one titled "That Christmas."
No, that's
No.
the cartoon one. I'm talking about the one Carry On.
Oh,
suspense one at the airport.
the guy that played shoot,
Eggsy from,
Eggsy, yeah, and
from,
also did he also play Elton John in Rocket?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that guy was in that movie, right?
Yes.
That's what we're thinking of.
No, I didn't. You saw it?
No, it's on my list to watch.
I thought you were gonna be like, I want to
Well,
talk about it. But
I woke up this morning and like
it's this year's Christmas action
I'm
movie.
going through my thing, my feeds and whatnot, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, #1 on Netflix right now. I was like, oh, okay.
You know what we should do? We should also make it a point to say we're gonna watch it by this date so that we can equally talk about it.
Oh, that's true.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in it, to be honest.
Yeah, but it doesn't
sure.
matter. There are
What,
gonna
you
be
don't
things
like
that
suspense? You don't like action?
No, at the end of the day,
Not that.
you don't have to be interested in
Oh
it. But
my
sometimes
God.
we have to watch things just to talk
that.
about it.
Oh my god.
So you're gonna
Not
watch
that.
it just to talk
I
about
will.
So
it.
what do you like? If they're
What
not
do
Cape
I like?
Crusaders or Star Wars.
So let's take a step back.
If we're talking about like
Steve,
Christmas
non-
action movies,
Non-Marvel
I've watched Die Hard.
movies that you like.
Non-Marvel
well,
movies.
no,
that
don't forget the Christmas aspect of it.
Just
It's
period.
an action movie.
We're trying to
Oh,
find
just like-
suspense. It's an action
the
suspense.
inner
I've seen
Steve.
all the Jason Bourne movies.
Those are solid.
I have
They're
seen all the Daniel
so what
Craig
did
James Bond
it
movies. They
appeal
didn't
to you
really
about
appeal
this one?
Huh?
you saw the trailer and you were like,
I was like,
oh, excitement, action, suspense? Nah.
no, I saw the trailer.
Jason Bateman, he's amazing? Nah.
Jason Bateman is amazing. But I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, well, I mean, carry on a bag. It's a guy blackmailing one of the, I guess, what is he,
TSA.
TSA?
Wait, did you feel like the story was basically told in the trailer and you're done with it?
Not exactly. They did tell
'Cause I
a
hate when
lot
they
of
do
it
that,
in the
too.
trailer. They did tell a good. They didn't tell the whole story
You
in the
gotta see
trailer.
it. You
but-
gotta watch it.
Oh, no. I didn't even see
I'm
the
going to
trailer,
watch
so.
it.
Yeah,
Nick and
go ahead
I
and
will
watch it,
watch it, and then we'll do a
That's
segment.
fine.
Steve doesn't like movies.
Yeah,
That'll be.
second one, Steve doesn't like movies.
We'll call the segment Steve
This is a
doesn't like
big jump.
movies.
This is a big jump. Okay,
do
so
like that.
name off a
I should
movie.
do that.
Name off a movie that you saw a trailer for and then didn't go see. As he takes a sip from his tea.
None.
That's not true.
Me?
None.
That's totally not
I
true.
see trailers.
I'll
for
tell
things,
you
I
one
see
that
them.
I saw.
Then
that
how
I
do you
regret.
how do you do that in the movie
Wait.
theater though?
How about a movie?
When you go to a
went
movie
the
theater
for
and then you see all
regret?
those trailers in the beginning of the movie, you go
And I'm
every,
like, wanna
every
see
single
it,
one of
wanna
those
see it,
movies.
wanna see it.
Every single one.
I don't
Yeah.
go to
I don't
them.
believe
I'll
this
watch them
guy
at
at all.
home.
I don't
What's a
believe it
movie
for a
you went to
second.
the theater for that you regret paying the money? And I can tell you mine.
okay.
I know 100%.
I can come up with a couple of these. Go ahead. You go first.
Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, that movie's great.
Worst movie ever.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Only movie I fell asleep in. Horrible.
So we walked out of. I've only ever walked out of 2 movies.
I've never walked out of a movie.
We
but-
walked out of, and both times I was with my buddy Kaiser. The first one was it I think it was called The Fighter. It was so bad I can't even remember it. We thought we were getting into like a
Typical like
Fighting,
Rob Van
drama
Dam fighting movie type deal. Yeah.
dude. When we were like 20 minutes in, he started doing pull-ups on the subway. We're like, we're out. We can't do this.
Come on, that's realistic. Because I've seen
It was bad.
For real.
No, I know, but the way they
It was bad.
led up to it was bad. And then Something Borrowed. We used to, I like rom-coms.
Yes, you do.
I'm a rom-com fan.
Mhm.
Huh? That we get.
That was an attempt to put every rom-com plot line into one movie.
That's a terrible idea.
So I'm sitting there with Kaiser, and we're sitting next to each other. It's like the movie starts. We're about 20 minutes in. We're quoted. We're like, she's gonna be pregnant. Watch, if she's pregnant, I'm gonna die. And she's like, I'm pregnant. And we bust out laughing,
So it's a good movie
uncontrollably,
then.
uncontrollably laughing.
You made it a good movie.
To the point where like we have to leave. Like we had to get up. We were laughing so hard. People were getting mad at us
Oh man.
because
I
like it's
love it.
supposed to be like it wasn't even like a rom-com. We thought it was gonna be like a comedy. It was just like The Notebook, which I hate. It was like that where it's not like I like rom-coms.
Yeah.
I don't
romantic
like
comedies.
where it's just so sappy. You're like, oh my god, tear my eyes out. Like I like the humor.
Those
of
are
it.
cringy.
So
Yeah.
this was trying to be more like that, and we just started laughing so hard because it was like every trope. It's like and trope
and it
and
happened.
trope,
And it happened.
and then he's like, she's gonna be
Pregnant.
pregnant, and she goes,
Perfectly timed.
and like he said it, and then on the screen he goes, I'm pregnant, and we're like, die.
Perfect.
He gave her
timing.
the
Perfect
line.
timing.
He
Yeah,
gave her
yeah,
the
yeah.
line.
Died, and we had to get up. We had to go. We were like, this is it. We have to leave,
Yeah.
and we couldn't go back in. We were laughing so hard.
Nicole's on a stream of those now, like watching all those rom-com ones or whatever. I'm not big on those. The only one I,
do
can
like
watch
them.
anytime was it The Proposal. Yeah,
Very good.
I think
Proposal's
because it's got a great balance of comedy. in
You
that
should
movie.
watch. You
Really
should
good.
watch. If Nicole's never watched, you should watch Love Hard.
Send it to me. Remind
It's on
me.
Netflix. It's
Yeah,
very good.
Text me.
It's very
I'll
good.
forget the name, but okay, that's fine.
There's I like they have to be a rom-com, a romantic
Have
comedy.
to have some
Has
comedic
Steve
aspects to
Like
it.
walked
I
out
don't
of a
like
movie? I wanna
I
see
don't like
it.
The Notebook. Like The Notebook is too
No,
much
it's
for me.
horrible. Yeah, Steve, what movie have you walked out?
What?
of?
Tell me what you want.
What is that?
Yeah,
That's from the Notebook.
I never
Yeah,
watched it.
well,
I won't
people
watch
use-
it.
I haven't watched it either. That's the
No,
only
but
line I know
people-
from it.
Yeah, because people use that. People use that scene for like when you're asking your wife what she wants for dinner.
Tell me
Oh.
what you want.
I haven't
They're
seen
standing in the
that clip
rain.
yet.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's all about dinner. They use that meme for dinner. Like, what do you
Oh,
want? 'Cause,
really?
no wife ever knows what you
Ever,
want for dinner.
zero.
I've
No,
seen it used for Christmas
the best
gifts too.
line. The
Yeah.
best
Tell me
line is
what
whatever.
Christmas gifts too.
The best line is whatever you want. When you're like, what do you want to eat? Oh, whatever you want. That's a lie.
You ever see the
And then they
strategy?
knock down the first like.
Well,
five
you ever
options.
see that strategy where you're like, where you.
No, the one in the car. Yes.
Where you surprise them? He's like, I'm gonna take you.
To your favorite
To your
place.
favorite
No, I don't want
place.
to tell you. See if you can guess.
Yeah.
That is the place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
strategy. So, have you ever walked out of a movie?
No.
Never?
Nope. Never had to.
We walked out of one other movie and went back in. It was
You run
Frozen.
Frozen. Okay.
But we didn't walk out of Frozen itself. It was the trailers ahead of time. They had, for the first time in eons, a Mickey Mouse short, and it wasn't. Remember, now my kids were super young, and Isabella was sensitive to everything back then when she was real little.
Back then.
And more than she is now. And they watched their version of Mickey Mouse was the Mickey Mouse Club. So everybody loved everybody.
Yeah.
But this was a remake of the older Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey
Pete's
Mouse
like a
show.
bad
Where
guy.
Pete's like,
So he's literally like punching Minnie in the face and kicking Minnie, and you just see her looking like, and looks at me, and I was like, honey, it's just a cartoon. They're having fun, and she's like, they're not having fun. She starts to tear up. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go out. I'll let her gather herself and bring her back in. It was I couldn't bring her back in until that entire short was over. She's like peeking in the door. I'm like, okay, honey, I promise it'll be good. And then she loved Frozen, but man, I was dying.
get past that part.
Well, I was dying because we're used to Looney Tunes and shows where
people
get
beaten
up all
the time.
You
Yeah.
have to hunt down to find that stuff.
I know.
Animaniacs was good though because it had like that,
a mix.
like there was always some kind of education or something in it. But then Looney Tunes is just like, watch how many times we can kill
Each other.
coyote with a.
It was real bad. I mean, if you think of the Looney Tunes, that was really their only plot.
Oh,
how
yeah.
many unique ways can
So many
all the
funny
characters
ways, yeah.
maim each other? All the
It
characters.
wasn't
every
until
single one.
Tiny Toons came out where they started to have a little bit of like, because Tiny Toons was directly competing with like Animaniacs.
I mean, I have to think that Looney Tunes was literally an animator's like gateway drug. Like that's how they get out of. I got to get this out of my system. I am going to do all of these things in animation, so I won't do them in real life.
It doesn't look real, so we could do whatever we want.
I mean, I'm trying to think of one Looney Tunes character scenario where they weren't trying to significantly harm each other. I can't think of one. I can't think of any.
Yeah, you're right.
Not one. Every character. Obviously, the easy one is Coyote and Roadrunner.
Oh,
right. But then
that was the whole premise
Tweety
behind it.
Bird, Sylvester.
Yeah.
You add in
Daffy and Bugs Bunny. They
Daffy
would always
and
get into
Bugs.
something would happen. to
Elmer
them.
Fudd.
Elmer Fudd,
Porky Pig.
Porky Pig. What's his name?
That's
It's
all.
the rabbit hunting season.
No, the Two Guns.
Oh, that's Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam. Yep. Yosemite Sam. Every single Tasmanian Devil. Right. Every
Taz.
single
So
one.
Taz. So my two favorite Looney Tunes were Taz. I love Taz, and then Speedy Gonzales.
Yes, Speedy Gonzales.
But
is also
nowadays,
Tom and Jerry.
But nowadays, because as a kid,
Tom
I
and
would.
Jerry.
As a kid, I would
Yes.
try and act out like
Let's see
Speedy
how many
Gonzales.
ways this
That's
poor
your-
cat
your-
And
your-
now, like
can
if you
destroy
see,
himself.
If you see a 4-year-old, so as a kid, I would do like the Mexican accent and like because I loved him because he was fast, and I always had a thing about being fast.
Of course, yeah, because that was our thing for small guys.
But I think here's the
And
thing.
then now
You're
if you see a
not-
4-year-old do that, you're like, stop culturally appropriating
No
that.
way, I don't. I'm like, oh my god, Speedy Gonzales. I still say it. And here's the reality.
And
It was a compliment.
what was
to
Speedy
the Mexican
Gonzalez's
race.
what was his cousin's name? Let's see if you know. What's the trivia now?
Ooh, I don't know this.
Speedy Gonzalez had a cousin.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
I
did.
don't
I know
this.
it. I will tell you, but first I want to see. If you can
How
guess.
many episodes was this cousin in?
No, I think
Was he in a good amount, or was
two.
he
He
just
was in a
one?
no. He was in a fair
than that?
amount. More than
I
that.
don't know. his
I
cousin's
don't
name.
remember him.
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Was it really? Like the opposite? He's the opposite of-
He
That
was
makes
Slowpoke
sense.
Rodriguez.
That's
and
really
he
funny.
would
That makes
move
sense.
And talk.
Very
slow.
slow.
That's funny.
Slowpoke
funny.
Rodriguez.
What was the name of Tom's? Didn't Tom have a little nephew that was like a gray kitten, but it was still
I
thick?
don't know.
Yeah.
I think so.
I was
Yeah,
never-
there was another cat.
I was
Yeah,
never a big
remember that,
Tom and Jerry guy.
Oh, I loved Tom
And they
and
were
Jerry.
separate from the Looney Tunes.
yeah. I was
Yes.
a big Tom and Jerry guy until my mother saw it.
Why? She stopped you?
Didn't like the
Because it was
violence.
violent.
Oh, really? They're all violent. That's the crazy thing. And I was
Not anymore. I mean, yeah.
Not anymore, no.
well, I was talking with
Nowadays, the parents are like, no, that
Yeah.
thing
Well, I was
ran
talking
through
with
a
Isabella
wall.
and Luca. I was like, none of your cartoons, because our cartoons were one or the other, right? They either super violent like the Looney Tunes, or they were trying to deliver a message. Whether it was G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, where they
Right,
have
had
like
a
a
story.
message at the end that actually have a breakaway, break the fourth wall message. Hey kids, you need to prevent fires or whatever. I don't know. Just
Never
some
had one
silly
of those
things.
shows, but I mean,
He-Man
sounds
did
cool.
it.
Yeah. G.I. Joe is famous for it.
G.I. Joe was the most famous one.
Yeah.
And knowing is half
Bring
the
that back.
battle.
Yeah. G.I. Joe. Exactly.
They should bring that
You
back.
know, but like they did that study. I've probably said this on the podcast before, but they've done that study where like they made kids watch cartoons from the 80s and 90s,
Okay.
and
How do they react to them? I would be interested to see that.
what happened was calmer. Kids are calmer because late
They're calmer
2000s. No. So it had a calming. So if you took out
The
everything that they're
opposite.
watching and you just watch 80s and 90s cartoons, the kids actually calmed down.
This was the study.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great study
So
because
what were some of the shows? Like, give me an example of what were the shows from the 80s they were watching. Do you have any of them?
no, just like your He-Mans, your Thundercats, your
And they were
your
calmer?
Batman, the animated series from the 90s.
Well, that's because those cartoons aren't
because have
ADHD
you ever
riddled and like.
watched- Have you ever sat and watched an episode of
Don't do Titans Go, please.
Well, have you watched one?
Yeah.
Okay, what about
they're Ren and Stimpy
Okay.
on speed.
Teen Titans Go?
Did you see the new Thundercat? Their version of Teen Titans Go, the Thundercats
I
one.
saw it.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
horrible.
talk about it.
It was
The,
horrible. Even Luca was like,
no,
I
no,
can't
but
watch this.
okay.
This is too much.
But you have Teen Titans Go. You have the new Mickey Mouse like cartoon that they added, which is just Teen Titans Go with Mickey Mouse.
That's
you
the
have
one we saw in the Frozen. It was their
yeah,
first
they've
relaunch.
kind of sort of moved away, but they still show like a clip every morning.
Okay.
They have even SpongeBob, which I like.
It's very fast moving.
SpongeBob is very,
Yes, you're absolutely right.
which is again cartoons from the 80s and 90s, but not that.
They had a
was, like,
story.
They told
Yeah.
stories.
Like look at Gargoyles. Look at
Oh, I love Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. Batman the animated series.
Superman, Justice
Superman the
League,
animated series.
Thundercats,
G.I.
G.I.
He-Man,
Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Well, for the girls, it was She-Ra,
Silverhawks. You had She-Ra. You
what
had
was the girl that
Here's
the
a-
singing girl?
Jem
and the
Jem.
holograms.
Jem. Yep, there you go.
Here's a question for you guys. What
The Jetsons.
age? Oh,
Flintstones.
Yeah,
These
Flintstones.
are
Meet
slower
the Flintstones.
paced
Everything was
cartoons.
slower paced.
But it was good. You still had a plot.
Correct.
Still had
Yeah,
a good story.
exactly.
Go ahead,
So
Steve.
true.
You were going to say?
Well, what would you say would be the youngest age that a kid would be able to sit down, watch one of those shows that we're just talking about, and kind of like keep with the story? Because you know that if you're trying to show like a 2 or 3-year-old a show that has a story, they're not really gonna.
No, but like I'd
process
say
it.
by
2
4
or
or
3.
5, I was watching.
Yeah, like 4 or 5
by
is what
4
I
or
was
5,
thinking.
I was watching He-Man.
I was on He-Man right away. Yeah, 4 or 5.
And then when the
4 or 5
Power
years old.
Rangers came out, that was another one that was like
I was older
the
for that,
Power
yeah.
Rangers was me too, but it was like again, it was something
Slower
you could
pace.
follow,
Little
and it
story.
had stories that had
Yep.
long arcing stories.
It had
like
a
Green
a
Ranger.
resolution. It had a lesson behind
Yeah.
it. It had like you were able to relate to characters. Total
Yeah, I don't
lessons.
even know what the kids like a steady cartoon they watch, right? So Luca watches cartoons with me.
Well,
if he's gonna
YouTube's
watch
big
it.
now. Everybody watches
Everybody.
Yes.
Do you know I went to my friend's house the other day? It was really nice. They had us over. The girls are having a Girl Scout thing, and the husband's like, "Come on over. We'll have pizza. We'll relax." I'm like, "What do you guys watch? Let's put something on YouTube."
Well,
Well, they have a bunch of stuff on
No,
YouTube
but
now.
they don't have like nothing specific. They'll just randomly
Yeah,
find
yeah.
something that day and then watch it.
Well,
like I will at least follow a show. Obviously, 3 of us will follow a show for a little while.
but we're a dying generation.
No.
Like cable companies are super worried because as these kids grow up, none of them watch TV.
No.
Well, from an advertising
even if
perspective,
they
you're
do
gonna lose
go,
all that
even if
'cause
they,
no one's on there.
Yeah, even if they do go and watch a show, they'll pull it up on Disney Plus. They'll pull
Oh,
it up
yeah.
on Netflix. They'll pull it up on Hulu. They'll
Yep.
pull it up on YouTube.
Well, we
they
do
don't
too.
need cable
So-
to do it. Yeah,
so
now we do. Yeah, right
my
now
son-
we're doing it too.
My
I see a
son,
commercial, I get aggravated.
So my son loves Bluey, which is actually that's a brilliant cartoon.
Yeah.
We were trying to explain that 'cause, at one of the cousins.
I think the kids, the little kids shows, Kylo, is that what it's called? Caillou? No,
Yeah.
Caillou,
I'm just a
Bluey,
kid. That's for Caillou.
Luca liked
I don't
the
know about
Wonder
Caillou.
Pets, right? Octonauts.
But-
Those are shows that have learnings. And
Well, we were
plot.
Little
explaining. We were
Einsteins.
explaining.
Little Einsteins, yeah.
We were
Such a
explaining
catchy
that
theme
yesterday.
song.
So,
Gets
so
stuck in my
Kelsey's
head.
family did their Christmas party
Little Einstein's a
yesterday.
little after my time though. That was
Right?
my younger brother and sister more.
So yesterday was Kelsey's Christmas party,
Mm-hmm.
her family. So we went over there, and Declan's my son's in the young threshold now. Like so, all the other
He's a
cousins
toddler.
are like teenagers, high school, 8th grade, that kind of thing. So one of Dad's, Jason, we're sitting talking, and Ian was there. Obviously.
Cool.
So Ian, myself,
Previous podcast guest
and
of yours.
Jason, we're talking about my son wanted Bluey put on. He pointed TV, so my in-laws put Bluey on for him. Now,
What does he want? What does he want? Well, he obviously
Now,
wants to watch Blue. Is he
when
like,
he loves Bluey. He
he's
loves
saying Bluey. You can't tell.
but he'll clap for the theme song. But when they put Bluey on, like we were just talking about, because I'm like, all right, Kelsey, I'll put it on, but I don't know if Bluey's on. He said, no, just go to the YouTube app on the TV. There's 80-minute Bluey channel where they just play 80 minutes of Bluey episodes.
Oh, okay.
So you click
Makes it easy. It just goes.
and
Yeah.
then boom, there you go. So we put that on, and we're talking to the one dad, Jason. And his kids he's got a freshman in high school and like a 7th grader.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, yeah, what's this thing with the Bluey? He's like, it's amazing. And Ian's like, oh, it's great because it has actual
Ian has
plot.
James. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has jokes. It has but it's lessons. But it's like it's really well written, like really well written.
And it's a show where you could walk away and come back and know nothing negative is being shown to your kid.
That's
Like,
right, yeah.
They're taking something away, or at least
And it's still
slowly.
But it have
it's-
realistic characters. Like the parents are realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're written well. Like there's times where the dad will take a joke too far, and the mom gives him the look.
cuts them off.
She like. They were doing an episode. I was laughing the other day. They did an episode where they're all playing neighbors. So they all set up like little houses out of couch cushions.
Oh, I
and
walked
the dad
into
is
your house when this
annoying
episode was on.
the mom as the loud neighbor, right? And
Oh,
he won't
boy.
stop. He won't stop. He won't stop. And she's trying to teach Bluey how to talk. So eventually, towards the end of the episode, she just walks up to him. She goes, "We've had enough. I'm gonna ask you nicely to please stop making noise." And he goes to make noise again, and then she leans in, and like there's not a smile. She goes, "Please stop making noise." And
Very
like,
realistic.
You see Bandit, the dad, just like is oh, I'm sorry. Like, but you see him realize like,
Yeah, 'cause
oh,
he was
she's not
having
playing
so
the
much
game
fun.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. He's all caught up
I'm
in
gonna
the
get
fun
in
of it.
trouble.
He's caught up in the fun of it all.
Or like
and
there's an
that
episode
happens.
where
That's
like
funny.
he's playing they have him as the king because they want to be the butlers,
nice.
and the mom is cleaning the deck outside, and she says something, and he goes, "Back to work, peasant," and she shoots him a glance, and he's like, "I'm sorry." Like it's just like I'm like, I know that look.
Yeah.
I know that cartoon dog's look because my wife makes that same look.
Yeah, and I made that same reaction yesterday.
So it's just fun. It's funny, but it's well written. So
That's
like
cool.
I'm cool. We're cool with stuff like that. Like, and then we'll put on old stuff like Sesame Street,
Transformers. Not for him yet.
Yeah, no, I mean he'll be exposed to some of my old cartoons.
Yes.
No, Sesame Street's an easy one for the most
even
part.
like
Sesame Street's good.
Even like DuckTales.
Yep. The new one though, I never caught into that.
So DuckTales, I had to get into the new one because it was fast paced like that, but eventually does get into storylines. But it took longer than I would have liked.
I liked.
But it was good.
You were a fan of Darkwing Duck, right? Because it was
Darkwing
similar to
Duck was
Batman.
amazing.
Yeah.
Darkwing
And again,
Duck was
good
amazing.
stories. And even did he have his own show, Gizmo Duck or whatever?
No, Darkwing Duck, Gizmo Duck came on Darkwing Duck.
Yes, but he didn't have his own show, right? Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure if he did because I
He
know there's
did
a couple
not.
episodes for an arc where it was all him for a while.
When they made the
And
Justice Ducks.
that's what it was. Okay, I was trying to remember. I'm like,
I
there
know
was a
nothing
while.
of these shows.
It was
Look at
called.
me.
It wasn't Justice. It was the Just Us
Ducks.
Ducks. It was
Got
brilliant. It was like everything was
Nice.
like spoofs.
It was
on-
their version of Batman. You know, what I
Everything
mean?
was
But it was
spoofs
good.
on like
The DC characters.
because they had everything was spoofs on DC characters. It was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
it was well. It was
Which
well
is
written.
funny because then Disney went all Marvel,
But they had their hand on DC.
but
really well.
like literally they were doing DC characters in
That's
DuckTales,
funny, that's
and they're like,
funny.
oh, they went with
Marvel
the other
instead.
company.
Okay.
Exactly. That got them nowhere.
No, I
Yeah.
got them somewhere.
No,
I'd
I'm
say.
saying
Like
initially, like they weren't
Darkwing
leveraging
Duck's
it all.
daughter Goslin eventually becomes a bow and arrow hero called Quiver.
Oh, that's. I didn't know that. That's funny.
Quiver. Her full name is Quiverwing Quack.
Quiverwing
it.
Quack.
I like it.
That's really clever.
He was
It is
Quivering Quack.
No, that was another one that was well written. And again, here you are. The DuckTales, another one. The good story, the good
Yeah.
short stories.
Well, I just
you
feel
know?
like the cleverness they've replaced it too much with like the speed of like blah, 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 and you're like,
But they're
"This
trying
too
to
much,
keep
it's
the
too
kids'
much."
attention.
Because they have to compete
Yeah, but
with, like,
but
TikTok
everything
and-
is slapstick. It's all I got hit in the face with a pie. All of it. All of it. There's not.
I mean, there's
really,
slapstick in the original like Looney Tunes and stuff like that,
no,
but
no,
it's
without a doubt. But the ones
different.
we just mentioned, it's actually thought out
But
comedy.
Looney
Like, you're
Tunes
thinking about
Looney
it.
Tunes is
And
probably
story.
the most crazy one from my
Yeah.
childhood.
Without a doubt.
But
Well, it was just death after death after death.
so, yeah, so we were talking about that at the Christmas party,
Respawn,
and then,
respawn,
and then
respawn.
so we end up
That's where they got respawned
so
from.
we ended up staying at the Christmas party longer than we thought because
When was this? Last
Yesterday,
weekend?
yes-
Oh,
yes-
yesterday.
yesterday.
Oh,
Oh yeah, by the way,
Remember,
people,
we are in real time now.
recording this in
Real
real
time.
time. So today actually is Sunday that we're
So-
sitting and recording this.
So last night we ended up staying longer because after everybody started to leave, Alan and Missy and their 2 kids, Alan and Missy, stayed to talk about all the family stuff because like Kelsey's family has this whole crazy history, which I'm not going to get into, but like 23andMe has been interesting with them because they have a crazy history. So they were talking about all that, right? So Alan's also the guy he's a state trooper. He's the captain of the state troopers.
Got it.
He's one of Luke's bosses.
Yes.
And so I asked him immediately about these drones that are flying over. I'm like, tell me something. What do we know about these drones? And he's like, we don't know anything, man. We just got some stuff from the FBI. We don't think they're dangerous because they have safety lights. And
That doesn't mean anything, though. Anybody can put
like-
safety lights on something that's dangerous, and all of a
he's
sudden,
like, we just
it's
have.
fine.
And it was interesting. You know, it was interesting. Like, 'cause it's a big topic of conversation in New Jersey. So everybody had their theories on it. Everybody, you know. And it's funny watching like the different levels of concern over it because you have like Greg, my brother-in-law, was like, whatever, it's not, you know, it's gonna be like a military trip. Ian went into detail about how like he's an interesting one because he's a drone pilot.
Oh, gotcha.
So Ian's very into drones.
Wait, Ian Melinda's Ian?
Yeah.
He's a drone pilot?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he's very into drones.
That's cool.
And he's got a very expensive drone.
My
But
uncle-in-law, too.
like what he was talking about is like most of these expensive drones are geo-locked.
Yes,
So
you can't go to a certain
you
part.
literally can't fly the drone.
Yeah, to a certain spot.
You have to. So he went through the list of what you have to do to fly in those spots. So to unlock the geolock,
You have to get like
you have
approval
to
from
you
the
have to
state.
approve. You have to
and
get
the
approved from
government.
the Air Force.
Yep.
You have to go through a whole list of things. He's like, he can't fly to his house because he lives in Farmingdale, which is like he's too close to
enclosed,
Earl.
yeah. Mhm.
He's too close
No,
to
we
Earl.
have the same issue. It'll literally turn you around. Like, if
Correct.
you get to a certain point, that's why you're like it's either not to get into this too deep, but it's either our military or something illegal.
But
going
he's
on.
saying it's like
Because
you
it
could
should
you
be
could
turning it around.
He's like, you could make drones. He's like, I know how to make a drone. I could 3D print it so you can get around the geolock because you just make your own.
Yep.
But he's like, but the size.
They're massive.
But so it was interesting to hear everybody's different theories. But I asked Alan, he's like, well, you know, we don't really know, but the FBI just gave us some equipment to try and track him a little bit better. I was like, awesome. I want updates.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell
Direct
me
text messages to
more.
me.
So we left later than we thought. So we didn't get home till like midnight, right? So as we're pulling up, I'm like, we get to about where our driveway is, and I'm like, where's our mailbox?
Oh God.
Oh my god, dude!
Our
Here we
mailbox
go.
is gone, and there's
The pictures are too good.
a spike, like a wooden spike, just like where I.
Ooh.
It looked like a steak you try to
used to
stab a
be.
vampire with.
After this, I'm gonna go into the chat and then save those pictures. So I
Yeah,
can put them
go
up on the
for it.
screen right
Oh,
now.
man.
Boom. Don't put the girl's
No, I'm not gonna do that, obviously.
Yeah, you get or blur out her phone number so she doesn't get random calls from people.
And also Dave's house number, if it's on the mailbox.
Yeah,
Is it?
it is on the mailbox.
Okay.
Yes,
I
but
won't.
they'd have to
I'll
know-
just show the
But
picture
they
of
would
the
have
spike.
to know my road.
That's not that difficult to find. Go ahead, continue.
That's true. Anyway,
I'll just show the spike.
You-
That used to be a mailbox,
you
folks.
just blur out the. it's fine.
So yeah, but talk about like
so-
what it was like.
So then
It was weird.
that's
It was a weird
standing,
setup.
and then the mailbox is laying on the ground, like on our front lawn. I'm like, what happened? So both Kelsey and I get out of the car. Declan was asleep, so we just like leave him in a minute. He's all cuddled up in his blanket, and we're looking at this thing going, and I'm like, oh my god, I think somebody hit this with a baseball bat. And she's like,
It
no,
looked like it.
no, they drove into it. It's like, there's no tire marks. What do you mean they drove into it?
Until you gave me more information later, it looked straight up. It had to be
Like
a
someone
very
just
high
wanted to
truck or a
smash it.
baseball bat.
It's just funny how like because I when I was talking to Nick about it, his brain went right the way my brain worked, and I think it's a generational thing because Kelsey's younger. She was born in the 90s, 90 on the dot.
Okay.
But my brain went right to like rowdy kids with baseball bats.
Yeah,
because
football
that was,
teams
like,
used to do
That
that.
was a thing. They
Oh,
would
yeah.
hit mailboxes over.
Yep.
People don't really do that anymore, do they?
I don't
think
know.
so. I mean, I'm not in that audience.
I
anymore.
haven't heard anything about something like that.
So I'm like, somebody hit our mailbox with a baseball bat. She's like, what? It's no, they drove into it. I was like, maybe, but I don't see tire tracks. Like the grass is
Oh, really? Unaffected?
I looked.
And
at
you're
tire
on.
tracks.
You're across the sidewalk, right? Or is it on the? Or is it?
It's,
no.
It's, no,
No,
it's
no. It's on the side. It's on
yeah,
the curb.
It's on the curb.
But how close to the curb is it?
I mean, it's
Not that close.
Like it's an aggressive.
put it this way: it's pretty easy to avoid it unless you're not
Yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah, they cleared it all. Now we were talking about this. So what is it? What made it look like a baseball bat hit is the fact that it looked like it snapped directly in half, and the bottom very, very minimally moved.
Right.
And now why is that?
So-
the
so-
info you gave me.
So I'll move around a little bit.
Yep.
So we're like, oh my God. And she's like, I think there's mail on it. So I'm lifting the mailbox off the ground. It's cold. It's like dewy.
Of course.
And like I open it and I'm like, there's no mail in here. And she's like, I swore there was mail in
All our
there
bills are
earlier."
paid.
Oh boy.
So she goes
All
up.
the
She's
bills
like,
are
let's
gone.
just get that
Oh,
one
well.
inside. I'll go unlock the door. So she goes to unlock the door. And then she gets up to the 2 steps. And she's like, oh, our mail's right here. And then there's a letter. And it's this girl, Haley. And it just says, sorry I hit your mailbox. And then she provided her phone number for us to get in
It's
touch
like, I
with
didn't
her.
think you guys were home.
She's like-
I saw that.
She's like, I knocked on the door. Didn't seem like anybody was home. Here's my phone number.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
good on them. They could have
We're
just
like,
driven
okay,
away.
somebody hit the mailbox. Got it.
They
But I'm
could've
like,
just
how
driven
fast
away.
was she driving? Like she.
You
it
know-
is-
oh, come on.
I get it's clear off.
So the
whole
problem we
snapping.
have is because the water table in Howell, especially where we're at, is so high.
Yep.
When my dad and I put the mailbox in, we did it the fully correct way of cementing it. So picture like a cylinder tube of cement. It's solid. It's cemented in there. I mean, we have good cement down there. So the pole barely moved, but it snapped in half at the top. So now I have to get this pole that's cemented in the ground out. I'm like,
I mean, I just can't figure out.
I'm debating just cutting it the bottom.
I was going to say that, and then and
Honestly,
you brace it to a new one.
Yeah.
You brace it to a new one.
Honestly, I would just do
You
that.
could do a decorative brace. I mean, you could.
It
do
would
that.
save yourself. It would save you a lot of trouble.
But here's the thing, though, right? I can't see how their car didn't get messed up.
Well, so
There's
we're-
no way it did.
We were messing with D, who we should get on the podcast at some point. Who runs
If-
Smart
if-
Business.
if
she would, I don't know
It's broken high. Like it's
It's broken high.
right.
Yeah,
It's
snapped high.
about
It was probably a truck.
good 2.5 feet up.
I'm
was,
assuming it was
if
a truck.
it wasn't a truck, they destroyed their car.
So
Oh yeah.
we
It was probably a truck.
so we were joking with our friend D, who hopefully we'll get on the podcast one day. She runs a Spartan race with us.
Danielle, you
Um,
must come onto the podcast.
So
Be a guest.
she had clipped our mailbox with her mirror once coming to a Spartan race, like because we all usually meet at my house and we'll go up. So it was City Field, I think.
Yes.
Her mirror slightly like tapped my mailbox, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I think it moved a little bit." I was like, "No, it didn't move at all. We're fine. My mailbox didn't move. We're good." So we were joking.
Yeah, but she
last
was
night, we're
slowing
like,
down to come in
we're
for
like,
a park.
hey,
though.
D,
If this person was
Hey
driving,
D, don't feel bad about touching our mailbox because look at this.
you should be
I
like,
would have messed with them. Like, look what you did.
exactly. That should have been literally the first phone call.
Yeah.
You were back. I
Yeah,
know
you
it was
came
you.
back, didn't you?
I
Yeah.
know it was you.
Right.
You got it out for my mailbox. You know, I mean, that's really the only logical way to go about it.
In any event,
But it's crazy though. Again, more than halfway up, mailbox is clearing his lawn.
Well, how many times does he say when people are driving down his street, "Oh my God, that guy is flying"?
They do fly.
Like, they
They do,
fly
they
down
do.
his road because it's a cut-through road. People are using it as through traffic, so people are driving like a good 30,
What's
35
And we
miles
have-
an
I
hour.
have no idea.
Too?
Well, we don't
Ramtown
wanna go too
Greenville.
into detail there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because you cut through the Ramtown Greenville, and then that jumps you onto
Oberyn Tavern? No.
what is that road that runs where you used to live off of?
Newton's Corner.
Ramtown. No,
that-
no, Ramtown Road.
Herburn?
No,
Newton's Corner or Herborn?
Oh, that's where it cuts out to?
Yeah, it cuts
Oh.
down to Newton's Corner, and then you can take Newton's Corner down to like
Yeah, Oberyn Tavern. Yeah.
and you can hit all the different
Stores and whatever you need. And,
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
and
know
you can
that's
jump.
where
You
it
can
cut
jump
out to.
onto 37. Is it?
No,
37.
Not 37.
No.
37 is
No, 37
Toms
is
River.
different. No. The Parkway's right there.
The Parkway is there, yeah.
No, if you keep going,
195.
Where are you going?
195.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, in any event, like,
195.
so we were thinking, like, let's say someone is coming from the opposite direction. She was trying to move over to give them room to pass, but
Yeah.
does not slow down, just moves over.
Well, if it happens so
Boom.
quickly, you may not have a DH.
Exactly. Like, and plus,
possible.
she's probably watching the car to make sure she
I'm
has
sure
space. She's not watching that
we
side.
think it's probably a teenager. We're gonna call today. We think it's a younger person because it's all like printed. If it's like an older person, sometimes they like script.
Scripted through. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it was definitely it was nice that they came back and put the note there.
Very
and-
nice,
and
yes.
tried
Call
to
and
do
yell
it
at
again.
her. Were you out of your mind?
I can't wait until you call and the numbers like a local Domino's.
Right.
Well, I'm going to take your order.
It was nice of her.
I'd
to
like a
leave.
mailbox,
It was,
please.
It was
Yeah,
nice
exactly.
of her to leave a
I love-
number, and we
a
have no
large
idea
pie
what
and a mailbox.
we have no idea what time it happened either because we left the house at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, so you don't know.
No, we left
was
the house
probably
at,
dark.
at
I'm
4,
assuming it was after the sun
4:15.
went down.
We left the house at 4:15.
I bet it was after the sun went down.
Camera on your.
That was the first thing we
That's it.
said. We're like,
Now we
and
need a
we
camera.
don't have a ring. Like,
time for
we're,
that.
Now we
we're
need a
like
ring
the
camera.
last house in the world that doesn't have a ring.
Oh no,
Well,
my
the
house
ring-
doesn't either.
The ring cameras are connected directly to the drone monitoring system. So
Yeah, man. I
You can follow
contemplated
the
just
car as it leaves.
I contemplated just having a drone hovering over our house whenever we're not home, just like
just as a missile
it just
ready.
rises out, follows unsuspected people.
right.
Yep, that's it.
Somebody steals your package, it just starts going after
Can
you.
you imagine that? Some guy
Hey,
runs away
hey,
with the
you.
package.
Hey, you.
And then, I see you have audio on it. I see you.
I'm following you. I
We
know
know
where
where
you're
you
going.
Dude, that's
sir.
the next stage of Ring. We should do that. We should have like a drone doorbell. A drone
well,
bell.
if someone,
drone
if it's
bell.
detected that someone comes and then a parchment is removed,
just comes
it just
hovering
kicks
out.
right out of
Did
the
you say a
front lawn.
parchment?
I did say that. Item.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yes, an item.
You are so old.
That is proper English. An item.
And then it will call the constable.
Yes.
He'll come down
The
street
local sheriff.
with his billy club, and
Let
he
me
will
take a look at this.
thoroughly beat the
Sir,
heathens.
I request
Someone has removed your package.
call the constable. They've stolen my parcel.
Scotland Yard, Scotland Yard.
I don't know why we joke about your age.
You're literally 4 years younger than me.
I can joke about it. That's
Yeah,
fine
Steve
by me,
can.
yeah.
Steve's like our
I'll
child.
joke
I
about
love
it
the
all
idea
day
of a
long.
drone tracking this guy and Nick running into his telegram. Do, 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 do,
Oh, you
do.
got a SOS.
Me, 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 me.
Yep. This just in. Man steals package off Zappos front door.
And smashes mailbox with a bat. Is
It
that
would be
mine?
cool to have a drone that just like immediately like, you hit the
What the?
We got music coming from Nick's phone over
thing,
here.
just busting out music here.
That was the
It was
weirdest
like
thing.
It's like one of those like backing tracks from Full House. Right? It's like a really emotional moment.
He just doesn't know how to like.
No, that was weird. I don't know if it was Siri or something. I don't
He's
know.
like, I don't know. It's not rotary.
Yeah, I don't know how to handle. I need the rotation sound. I need
Oh.
that time in between.
Yeah.
Oh no! It's
Style.
speaking of that. So here, this is going to be a long journey to tie into what we were just talking about. So yesterday I went with my father to help clean out my grandparents' house. They had to move it to an assisted living because they're just at that point.
Yeah, get to that
so
age. We can't live by yourself.
I haven't been able to go help clear it out yet or claim anything yet. So we were going to the house. So they live in a gated community, or they lived in a gated community. And in order to get in, your name needs to be on a list
Right.
corresponding with the house number and whatnot. So without fail, every single time I have tried to drive to my grandparents' house and use my name.
I can't drink tea.
Apparently
What
not.
is happening? To the,
Dripping down, I
so
tried
to the audio listeners, Dave is trying to drink his tea. Dave was
Drink
trying
from
to.
the other end of the cup,
Dave was
Dave.
trying to.
I'll catch it in my mouth.
So he was trying to drink the tea, and then a little bit of it started to slide down the side of the mug, as happens sometimes. And he literally tried to hold the mug above his mouth.
Dave had a
And let it
senior
drip
moment,
into his
speaking of this, and forgot what side of the cup to drink from.
Okay, so we're at the gated community. You're at the gate.
Every time that I've gone to try to drive there myself and used my name to get in, never works. For some reason, I'm never on the list. And my grandparents have said that they have called to get my name on the list.
don't
Off the
allow
list,
it. They
yes.
don't allow
Oh,
it.
they called and
I
said,
guess
"Do
not.
not let Steven in."
I guess so. Either
Steven?
that.
No.
No, don't
Do we
allow
have
that
Josh
one.
on that list? Put him on.
He is on the list. All my other siblings are on the list except for me.
They've got-
Josh came to graduation.
He did,
Yes, he
but
did.
that's because that's a whole other story. But anyway, so
he
we're
likes Jess
to
better?
the gated community.
Favorite child.
We can go over that. So to the gated community, and my dad drives up first. Now my dad is like, he's probably been the one to go to this house the most, so they probably know him by name by now.
He just drives right in, yeah.
He could just drive right in, but he drives up. And I told him as we're going there, I said, Dad, every single time that I've gone by myself, it's presented a problem. So I don't know what we're going to do, but like just, and he said, oh, no, your name is definitely on the list. It has to be. They've called so many times, it has to be. Drives up, says his name, goes in. I drive up, say my name, not on the list. so I'm like,
that guy, but younger.
well, that's what well, he had told the person in the gatehouse, like, that's my son behind me, blah, blah, blah. But they're not allowed to let me in if my name is not on the list. That's just
No, I get it.
Just the
Safety
rules of the
place.
job.
Yep.
It's just the rules of the job. But I can't just, sit there. I can't reverse because now there's someone behind me.
Can you show them the correct list? Because obviously, if you were called in 15 times, they have the wrong list.
I guess so.
So that's
but
when you're allowed
Were
to
you
be
friendly?
Italian.
I would have been like,
Yeah. Check it again.
so you out of your mind?
no.
Look at my last name.
No, I
It's
did.
literally the same last
So,
name.
here's the thing, because I was already like gearing up for this to be a thing. So at first, I was just like, my grandparents are John and Dolores Corsentino. They've lived at this house for years. They don't live there anymore. So normally,
And I was here last week. Continue.
I actually wasn't there last week, but normally what they would do is they would call the house to confirm it with the residents. They can't do that now. They don't live there anymore. And I told them that. I said, like,
but if
you
your
can't do
dad
that
rushed
now.
in, he could have answered the phone.
He could have, but he didn't think of that. He was just sitting there waiting for me. So we're talking to, and like you're not on here. And I said, I've had this problem before. They said they have called many times to get the name on the
You
list.
should have said your name was Josh.
I could have. I guess I could have.
All
done
these
that.
strategies.
I
Come
guess I
on, they're
could- I guess I
easy.
could have done that.
At
I'm
this
too
point-
honest.
At this point, say you're Jess.
I'm too honest.
And
But-
that's how you identify and get in
Well,
there.
I guess I listed off a bunch of other people that were on the list, but that doesn't help. But so she said, "Yeah, you're not on the list." And I was saying, like, we've been through this problem before. They've called
Like,
multiple
listen,
times
ma'am, I have things to
have
steal.
to get
You're
my name
holding
on
me
the
up.
list.
2 minutes
Yeah.
later,
They've
Steve's on the hood of the
called
car in
multiple
handcuffs.
times. She asked me, "Well, who did they call?" I'm like, I don't know who they called.
Ghostbusters. Who do you think they called?
Yeah, exactly. I said now I'm starting to get a little like, come on, like, you seriously think I'm here to cause trouble? Like, my
Yes,
dad
you
literally
look
said my
shifty.
name.
It makes sense.
He said my name behind me, and she goes, "Well, he can't authorize people to come in." And I'm like, he's not trying to authorize me to come in. He just told you that
I'm already
behind
authorized,
him.
and you don't know how to do your job.
Yeah, so that you knew that it was me and that I'm not just some random guy.
I'd be like,
And-
at that point, I'm already like,
Yeah.
where's your supervisor? Who's in charge? I need somebody in charge
Well-
right now. Park.
No, I
And
think.
I
handle this.
ain't moving.
We're gonna handle this 2-year problem today.
Well, at this point, I'm staying cordial because they're not like being rude.
I would be
They're
polite.
being friendly.
I'd be polite, but it's like, politely, I need to speak to your supervisor.
I need to find
Park.
someone that could actually
Well,
let me
that's
in.
what I said. So I didn't say supervisor. I said, "Is there anybody you can call to get this sorted out?"
Yeah,
and
that's
so
also good
and so she did. She made a call, and then blah blah blah. Went through the whole rigmarole, and then opened up the gate.
They
and it was
printed me. They
So
frisked
wait, but
me.
when they opened up the gate,
Mhm.
that's when you say, "Okay, can you do me a favor?
Make sure I'm
my
on this
name
list again."
is in bold on 25 font because I can't go through this every time."
I asked them that, and they
No,
said,
ask.
No.
You tell them
listen,
to do it.
No, I did. So I said that, like, can we make sure my name is on the list for this time in case I have to come back again? I said it has to be the residents that do it, and I said they don't live there anymore. They're not residents
And I'm
anymore.
going to need to come for the next month
I need to
to
keep
empty
on
this
coming
place
to
out.
help out. And like, so how do we like? Well, they made it really easy now. Now there's an app that they can go on. And I was like, so this is how it ties back into the
Right.
phone thing. I was like,
Right.
my grandparents don't have
No,
a
So they made an
smartphone.
app for the gated
No,
16 older
Steve,
community.
ready?
Yeah.
Right now.
They don't have
You're
a
letting
smartphone
me in now. So the approval is currently in play. Put my name on the list. I'm not leaving until you do it because I'm not dealing with this, you and your counterparts, for the next 60 days. So you're letting me in right
No,
now.
I am being
Means
let in,
the
yeah.
approval's there. Write it down on the paper before I get out of the car because I'm done dealing with you guys. I'm glad they moved out. This
Listen,
is a horrible
I'll be here another
experience because
6
of disaster.
times. So
Well,
might be here
if
for
it ends
6
up that it
times.
has to be me that drives back again, like when I
does.
drive up, my first
Josh.
word is going to be like,
Josh.
yeah, I could either just lie about my name, or my first words would be like, listen, you're not going to find me on
No.
that list.
You're
but
you're not lying. You're just saying.
I
a
would
name.
no. I would just be.
name.
I'd be like, hey, remember me? We went through this whole thing. You guys couldn't authorize me on the list. Get the supervisors down here because we're going
You know
through it
what you should
again.
do?
Yeah.
Take your phone, take a picture of you and whoever was at the gate that day, and be like, "Here's me dealing with it with your friend." 'Cause it's
yeah,
gonna be different
exactly, because it might be a different person. the
Oh,
next
you take
time,
a picture of you in front of the house and be like, look, I heard it's here.
people.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was there.
Here's
I've
a
been there.
collage of why you're letting me in
I was
today.
been there. I literally loaded up their dining room table into the car, and that's the thing that. And that's the thing that I
I
took.
hate when people are so.
But that ties into
locked in
old people and phones.
to,
No,
to
but-
the rule
true.
set.
No, but
I hate
you
when
know
people are
what?
so locked into the rule set where you're like, you understand there are circumstances where you have to like, nope, it has to be authorized. Okay.
No, but what I understand is once they got the approval to let him in, Mr. Corzine will add you because
Yeah.
they already you got the approval.
Well, what do you do?
You got the.
Well,
they did everything right ahead of time.
The
They did.
asinine part of that
because
is,
they didn't see your name, but
Right.
now they got the approval. Put your name down.
but the asinine part of that is, it all depends on the residents. Okay, well, God forbid, whoever you're there to take care of their house, what if they passed away?
Or they're ill.
And now you're not contacting. Who are you contacting?
That's the exact situation that we're in right now.
Approved by, well,
That's the
there's
exact situation
nobody
we're in
to
right now.
Contact.
Yeah, there
and-
is no
and
resident
you
anymore.
cannot keep the property that's in there. That's going to the family. So figure it out. Because
Yeah. I mean, I don't run a retirement community, and I can't imagine it's the easiest thing.
You don't?
But I feel like it is sometimes.
I feel like you live in one.
He'll need to one day.
Call the constable.
Your name's not on my list, see?
Yeah, sure.
You're not getting in
That's
here.
because they're using one of those newfangled
Yeah, it
computer
is.
lists.
Yeah, exactly.
If that was paper.
And when the drone flew over, it deleted your name, along with resetting the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened. Would have happened years ago then, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe. See? Done.
So
They're
we've
testing
kicked
it
off.
out.
We've kicked off the 12 days of Kickmas.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Let's
too.
talk about that.
When should folks expect to see? Like, what time around?
Whenever, just keep checking the Instagram.
Yeah, I would just say have notifications turned on. The goal, I will say, the goal is to have them up by 1 p.m. each day. However, Steve does have a life. So yesterday, things
No
got in
proof
the
of
way
that.
of that life. And we didn't, obviously, we had graduation at the karate school.
We still have stuff to
yesterday.
film.
We still have stuff to film. We had graduation school at the karate school.
Graduation
Yes,
school.
graduation school.
Welcome to graduation school. How do you accept the diploma? How do you walk? How do you greet the individual handing you the diploma? We will teach you all these fine skills and more at...
In any event, we were not
Graduation
able
school.
to get out. We weren't done with that until after 1 p.m., so I was not able to upload it
Yeah.
at the allotted time. But from now on, it's going to be, usually you can look for it around 1 p.m.
As long
But
as
just
it-
have notifications turned on.
As
It'll
long as
show
they're
you.
edited, though, we could always do a timed drop.
I was just going to
I
ask you.
can't
can you
do that.
scheduled?
I can't do. I can only do that on Instagram. I can't do that on TikTok
Oh,
and
that's right.
YouTube.
That's right.
Wow.
Because TikTok and YouTube. doesn't
TikTok
do
and
it.
YouTube.
That's right.
TikTok.
That's right.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yep.
The TikTok and the YouTube
TikTok
doesn't let you do
doesn't do
that
it.
for some reason. Don't understand why.
Nah.
But yeah, so
Very consistent
normally
always.
around like 1 p.m. you can expect to see us drop that Kickmas, and we got some good ones.
Oh,
we got some good ones planned.
I-
Yesterday was just the standard sidekick in front of the tree.
Yep.
Yep.
We had some
But
fun ones.
today begins the new.
So, the sidekick in front of the tree reminds me of a story I want to tell
Here we go.
on the podcast.
Do it.
Tell it.
Before we threw that sidekick in front of the tree
This year or period?
this year,
Okay.
before we threw that sidekick in front of the tree,
Which I'm bringing up. I'm going to see it. I saw it already, but I want to see something. Go ahead.
So the Sunday before that we threw the sidekick,
Mm-hmm.
I purchased my Christmas tree.
Nice.
We put the Christmas tree in our very old, very busted stand,
Oh, no.
and it happened to be a slanted tree. We got it. So Sunday night, I was like, I really don't like the way that tree's leaning. I was like,
Position. Okay.
see, I know it's the stand. You know what? I'm gonna get a stand. I'm gonna order a stand. I spend a half an hour. I read reviews, and I get a really expensive stand. I'm like, you know
Okay.
what? We're gonna do this so I never have to do this again. So I get this $80 amazing Christmas stand,
Nice.
right? Where it's
Pump
got a
it.
pump pedal with arms come up. It's a steel
Nice.
cable that holds it. Thing's solid. as
Heavy
anything.
duty.
It's got a spike in the bottom, so you put it on the spike and
Yep,
then you
that's
pedal
normal,
it,
yep.
and it's instead of like screwing these
Yeah,
things
yeah,
in,
yeah.
it's like these big arms
Just
that come up.
close on
And
it.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
solid. So it's not
Much more
going to
stable.
arrive till Tuesday.
Coming Tuesday. Okay.
So I'm like, okay, we got it good. I put a little piece of wood in the stand to help brace the tree a little bit, and we're like,
Okay.
okay, we're good. So it makes it through Sunday night, makes it through Monday. Christmas tree stand arrives Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'm like, great. I'm like, hey, I get home from work. I'm like, hey, do you want to try and move into the stand? She's like, so Kelsey goes, no, I think we should wait till Wednesday because Steve comes over every Wednesday and Steve
Can
can
help
help
out.
us. So I said, okay, you sure you don't want to try it tonight? We'll wait till Wednesday.
Okay.
And she goes, yeah, no, let's wait till Wednesday. I said, okay, no problem. So we sit down to eat dinner. Now, normally we play Mario Kart on Tuesday, but my son was going through a bit of a sleep regression. I had gotten home late from work. We had things to do, so we're just like, we're not going to play tonight. He cries. Like, Monday night, he cried for like 45 minutes when we put him down. And we're like,
No.
this is awful.
Mm.
Tuesday, I think we got like maybe It only took 10 or 15 minutes, which is still, I mean, he was at the point before we hit the sleep regression where, like, you'd hold him for a little bit, then he'd reach into the crib and you'd put him down. Now he doesn't want to let go of you. And then when you put him down, he just stands with his arms at the edge of the crib and cries. So Kelsey is doing some dishes or whatever, and I'm sitting eating a grilled cheese sandwich at the table behind my couch. I have one of those couch tables. And then as I'm eating, the tree just starts to topple, and I go, tree, 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 and I try and get up from the table to get to it.
You knock everything over?
Couldn't get to it. It comes crashing down, spills water out of the base everywhere, breaks an ornament, so that shatters. And I'm like, no! And Kelsey cuts, what do you say? Oh my God! She's down the hall. So then, like, we get the tree back to a standing. I'm like, I'm holding the tree. I was like, you have to loosen it. You have to loosen it. Like, let's try and put it in the new base. So, like, I'm holding the tree, she's loosening the thing, and then, like, we go to lift it, and, like, she's trying to position the base, and it's just, it's not.
It's a lot going on.
She doesn't have any grip on it, like, so she can't. So it's just me. So it's just me, and I'm like, this is hard just by myself. Like, I can't see where I'm going. Like, I need some assistance here. So I'm like, text Steve. So it's like 11 o'clock at night, and Kelsey texts Steve, like, I don't know what she said, tree emergency, or like.
Oh, I can read you. Oh,
yeah.
no, I can't. My phone's over the camera.
No.
Oh, God, I forget exactly.
It was like, tree went down, need help.
The wording was very funny. Yeah, when I read it, I had to read it a couple times. I was like, huh? Because at that point, I'm getting ready to lay down for bed.
Right.
I'm getting ready to go to bed. Because usually I go to bed by like 11:30. So I'm reading it like, huh? What? But it was from Kelsey, so I was like, okay, this is probably pretty serious.
Yeah, for her to reach out.
For her to be the one to text me.
So I'm standing there the whole time holding the tree because I can't let go of the tree.
And you actually went over?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Well, from your end, you were saying you came out of the. You ran out of your bedroom, like.
Yes.
And
Oh, yeah, I ran out of my bedroom. Jess is sitting there. She's like, you're going out now? And I said, Master Dave's tree fell. He needs help.
That's what friends are for.
So then, so Steve came over and we got into the new base. And everything's okay. The new base is awesome.
Nice.
And then we shot the Kicking from the Christmas tree the next day. But, like, it was just like, I'm standing there for like 10 minutes holding this thing. It's like, is Steve on his way?
That's a fast drive for you to get it and get there in about 10, 20 minutes. That's pretty quick.
I got there in 10 minutes, yeah. Actually, I think a little less than
He
10
doesn't live
minutes.
that far from
But I don't live that
but
far.
yeah.
No. It's just
No,
all
I-
the
he
lights. It's
walked
all the
in-
red lights that stop me.
Oh, it's all back roads.
He walked in, I'm holding this tree like, Steve, we need to get this tree in that base.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That is funny. Well, the tree looks good now. It didn't.
oh,
in the
and
video.
that base is solid. Like, we were
Yeah,
like,
it's got it
wow,
pretty
doesn't
good.
move at all.
Thank
So, like,
goodness.
I'm looking forward to next year because it's going to be so much easier.
Yep.
Because you have it right off the
usually
bat
we
there.
play like oh, is it centered? Is it this is just like
Clunk.
Because when you put it in, it's still netted like shut.
Yep.
This was not. This was full.
Open
Yeah,
already.
they had already opened it, yeah.
We'd already
exactly.
decorated it.
Yeah, of course.
The ornaments and everything were
No, we had-
lights.
So when we went to a real tree, it was because what happened to you happened to me with our fake tree. The plastic stand just had seen its last day and snapped, and all of a sudden we're sitting there watching it just like you, and we're like, no, and it crashed. So we
I
ended
didn't know
up
what else to do. I'm
switching
like,
to a real
tree.
Tree,
Yeah.
tree, tree.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you lost an ornament. Hopefully not an important one.
Yeah, we lost a good one.
Did you?
Because he's trying to get it remade. It was a custom made Declan's first Christmas ornament.
No, it wasn't like a Christmas ball or whatever.
It was a hand painted glass ball, and naturally
That's rough.
just came down on that side. I was like, no.
Oh man,
But I am very happy with the stand purchase. I'm like, okay, I'm good for the next year. But
Yeah, that's a good
I'll
one.
tell you what you guys could do. My friend runs a stand in the Freehold Mall where they do just the Christmas ornaments and they write your family's name on it for each
we've
year.
done that a bunch of times.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
runs that stand in Freehold.
We've
So
done it a bunch of times.
yeah.
Like every year, one of us gets like we alternate.
The
so
place
he
is
gets
actually
one, he
packed.
gets
I can't
one.
believe how many
Yeah.
people go there. Oh my God, it's packed.
I've actually
They do
gotten
really
it from
well.
them every other year because
In
Kelsey
Freehold?
gets. Yeah,
Yeah. That's my buddy. That's
I
my
mean,
neighbor.
is there another mall to go to?
Yeah.
But
not anymore.
Ocean
Not-
County Mall?
Ocean County is
no.
on the rise, but Freehold's way better.
It's small. Ocean
It
County
is a
Mall is very small.
but
It's a small mall.
I was there when they were doing the construction, and it was so funny when they were doing construction, and about let's say a third of the stores were open.
Yeah.
it became like emo heavy. So
Yeah.
everybody there was dressed in
Well,
black and white.
I was
and-
like a mall
I'm
rat
like,
when I was a
alright.
kid. I loved malls. Like
Monmouth Mall was the best. Monmouth Mall had the arcade.
Disagree. Yeah, it did have it did have the
Have the
arcade.
arcade in the
Yeah.
back. So you would go and just chill
Freehold
out.
used to have an arcade.
Did it?
The Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Wait, not the Chick.
No,
yeah,
that's
the Chick.
upstairs.
which-
in the
The
corner.
the Chick-fil-A in the corner. That was an
But-
arcade,
Oh, really?
right
Okay,
across
that's
from the
cool.
merry-go-round.
Now, that's
Which-
the one thing with Monmouth Mall. Their arcade was like hidden in the back,
Yeah.
right? It was not near
Yeah.
anything.
It was
so
like by the merry-go-round. So,
Which
that's cool.
mall has
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory?
That's the
Freehold.
Freehold Mall.
That's Freehold. That's my favorite mall.
It's a nice mall. Freehold Mall is really a nice mall.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
Just for
Monmouth-
Cheesecake
Monmouth
Factory, that's
County
the only
Mall's
reason why.
gone.
Oh, it's done. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be like
condos.
condos, and then Ocean County Mall. They did a nice job. I mean, in college I went to the Willowbrook Mall, which is really nice too.
Well, what's the All American or what is it called? The real big
The
mall.
the
with
Great American
Great American.
American Dream?
American Dream.
American
Dream.
with
That's the
Nickelodeon
one by
theme
the,
park
the
and the skiing.
tailgating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were briefly in it during a football game.
The
Oh, that's
tailgating
the
debacle.
one?
That's the one that we went to.
That's the only time we didn't
It's-
really walk around.
It's
No.
worth a walk around.
It's got theme
Yeah.
parks in it.
Yeah,
Inside.
It's got the theme park. No, we've been there, and it's got the skiing, the ski slope.
Yep,
which is
indoor
wild.
skiing.
You could ski. You
Snowtube,
could
right? You can
snowtube.
snowtube,
Yes.
Nice.
We should
And
do that.
we should do that.
Just do a snow
100% do that.
Hey,
Hey,
school's closed for a week. Let's go.
it
Snowtube.
sure is. Let's go snowtubing. Yeah.
Oh, you have a real job.
No, I can still go. I'm just not a big snowtube guy, but we can try it out.
What would you do instead?
No, that's it. I wouldn't ski or.
Oh, I don't. I wouldn't
snowboard.
ski either.
Oh, I wouldn't
don't
do
ski or
anything more than
snowboard.
I mean,
snowtubing
the snowtube, you just sit in
You
the tube
sit in it and
go,
you slide.
right?
That's
It's like
the
you're
most.
snowing like a
That's the
kid.
most I will do too.
That is the
I know too
closest,
many
yeah.
people that get hurt skiing or snowboarding. I'm like, nah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, my daughter gets hurt doing that.
It's
though.
a roll. It's a roll of the
She gets
dice.
hurt walking.
It's true.
It's a
Poor
roll,
girl.
but
She's
skiing.
awesome.
I always feel like skiing's a roll of dice. Like, guess what? Like, is it this time I'm gonna get hurt? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna get hurt. Just what time?
Well, it's like anything else, right? That's something you have to just get skilled at, or you're going to get injured, right?
Yeah,
It's one
but
of
even
those
skilled
things.
people get injured.
No, but that's in any sport.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but you're not careening down the mountain at high speeds.
Also a good point.
Well, the level of injury could change. Yeah, you're right.
Still a good point.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that. I don't ski, so
Good
I
point.
skied twice, and that was more than enough for me. I'm like, yeah, that was a great experience. Appreciate that. I do not want to plummet down the mountain. I'm good
Never again.
at high speeds.
And
But
you stay kicking it, dude.
Dude, can we try to like at least segue toward an ending? Like, jeez. Can we try to at least like make it a clean transition?
I like just cutting Nick off and saying that you stay kicking it.
Okay, well,
that's the end. That's it. And fade to black.
no,
right.
no,
Then
no.
don't fade to black. Cut the black immediately.
No. To end it, I just wanted to show off
Fade to Christmas.
this little gift that I got from one of the
Just
students at the
show
karate
off.
school. Yes, I'm showing it off. It's a nice gift. And I got this gift from Luke. Don't know if he listens to the podcast. I know he watches the rest of the videos. Don't know if he listens to the podcast,
it's-
but he
tell him
got
this episode's good
he
for
and his mother, Meg, got this awesome mug, and I really loved it. It says
Crocking
crocking
around
around
the
the Christmas tree with a pair of
Yeah.
Christmas Crocs
nice.
on
Show
it.
it to the camera.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a very nice mug. I love
Well-
the crocking around the Christmas tree because that could be our next song next year.
Our Christmas,
Rockin'
our
around
Christmas
the
episode
Christmas
will
tree.
debut
Yes.
next week.
I will be
we're doing a
using this
Christmas
mug that
but-
episode.
Will
I
it?
also have
Right.
a Mickey Mouse mug where he's in a Santa outfit, and I'll be using that.
There
in the
you
episode.
go.
Oh, you know what we could try to do too for the request from the bots.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to do it either here or at your house, we can try to do it in front of a fireplace, just to get that feel.
My
Get that
fireplace
vibe.
doesn't work.
Yeah,
We could shoot going that direction.
we
could.
could. And then,
Sitting on the floor, I guess.
yeah, no, just chairs, whatever. We can figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll
We
make
could
it-
green
make it
screen a
happen.
fireplace right behind us.
We could. We do have a green screen.
Yes, we could
Somewhere.
do that. We could do.
It's here somewhere.
It's a packed away, but we
Oh,
can
okay,
get it out.
gotcha. Yeah.
We're discussing. So I have a Christmas party to go to today, and the kids every year they make a custom movie. I'm okay telling you guys this: the movies aren't good yet, but they're working on it every single time. So I told them, I said, "Do you want me to bring my podcast stuff, and you guys could make a little Christmas podcast?" But there's 4 kids. I only have 3 mics. So I'm like, still, you guys can share, whatever it may be.
Ah, just had an idea. Okay, go on.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna bring it, but it's not my party, right? So I'm gonna bring it. I'll put it in the back of the car. If it's something the parents say, yeah, let's do it, then I'll roll this stuff out. If not, we're not gonna do it. I don't want to like overtake the party with this, whatever podcast thing. But
Right.
if the kids want to do it, I'll say, hey, I'll plug it into your camera, and you guys can do it. You
Nice.
guys can have a little fun with it.
I just had an idea for next year's
What's-
Christmas video.
You
We're
can
gonna
share.
We'll talk about that.
We're gonna rewrite the
Huh?
entire plot line of Elf.
I just
Make
said
it all
after
Crocs
class.
related.
We'll talk
Oh
about
my
it
God,
after the
kids would
cast.
love- my kids would love that.
Okay.
They love the Elf movie.
All right then.
Well,
Thank you, Luke, once again, and Meg for this awesome gift. I really appreciate it. And
Really nice. Luke.
comment
stay
below
kicking
if you guys have anything that any opinions on what we're talking about today. Give us some comments. Talk about like what you're doing for Christmas. Any
Send us
crazy
drone
Christmas
pictures.
stories. Send us drone pictures.
Do not send us
If you
drone
can
pictures.
edit
Unless
a
they're
picture
decorated for
of a
Christmas.
drone into a croc, like literally make the drone into a croc.
Oh, send that
Yes,
immediately.
let's do that.
I could probably do that with the AI on my phone now.
You
Cool.
oh,
Yeah,
I
I can do
mean,
that
don't try not to use AI. Try to be original. Or if you could make a croc drone,
Ooh, that'd be cool.
that would be awesome.
I was talking to Ian
Alright.
about that. Well, if you have not already, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at Kickin and Crocs. KICKIN.in.Crocs.
C to the R to the O to the C to the S.
The best.
Yes.
Subscribe to us on YouTube if you have not already to watch the video versions of this podcast. Like the video if you enjoy it. And once again, comment. It helps us with the algorithm, tells YouTube that people like this video, so it boosts it and shows it to more people. Give us some help, people. All right. What else was I supposed
Audio
to say?
listeners.
Audio listeners, if you are
A
listening.
maximum of 5
on
stars.
Audio
As
only.
many stars
Which
as
is
the
5.
maximum
It's only
allows.
ever
It's
5.
We're gonna make ours 10. Do it. Double it
only
up.
5.
How about what
and
they could
again,
do is they can leave
it's-
2 reviews, 1 5-star,
And
1
double it
5-star.
up.
And there you go. Now it's 10
Yep.
stars.
If you're
Boom.
married, have it be your spouse. If you've got a significant other or a sibling, have them do it. But again, holidays. So we should be playing in the background. And as we start giving you more Christmas episodes, those should be in the background.
One more.
If not, you can play our rewind over and over and over
Yes.
again. because
Yes.
That is now out there. Thank you, Steve, for putting
You're
that
welcome.
out there.
I put out the 2023 12 Days of Kickmas. I made it one big video
Yes.
when I put that out. But
It is out.
And
Keep
what
it-
it does, it makes you feel good about your singing talents.
Correct.
Because ours are lacking minus
Yes.
Steve's.
Auto-tune couldn't save us.
So-
even
no.
mine. God.
No. Yeah, this year I think even yours was rough. 'cause
Well,
you were
that's
having
what
it
I
all
said.
Yeah.
My voice was all hoarse from teaching so much, so like it was
Hoarse.
bad. Hoarse.
Boris.
Yeah.
It was
You were
hoarse.
very hoarse.
I was like Boris.
was
Sounds
hoarse.
good. But yeah, make sure you share, listen, subscribe,
Yeah.
and comment.
And you stay kicking internet.
Why do you feel the need to rush?
Yes.
Because it makes you mad.
Doesn't make me mad. It makes me confused.
All right. What's your ending, by the way?
Oh, my ending is until next time. I've been Steve.
Always Dave.
Still Nick.
If you ain't crocking, you ain't rocking.
I love you from the bottom of my Crocs.
And you stay kicking internet.
Bye.
You don't have a catchphrase sign off. You need one. You get off my lawn.
With interesting people while styling while we run. It's kicking in Crocs. We're kicking in Crocs.